I did this. And then I did this. And I did this. And then I did this.
Your seats are too goddamn small! If your big, round, beluga bop, whale-looking self needs an accommodation in the cargo hold, we can make that happen.
We are here live at the scene of a shocking incident where a woman killed her husband for walking on the floor she mopped. Has she been arrested?
Not yet. We are waiting for the floor to dry. Welcome back to the Spectrum News Network. I'm your host, Marshmallow Jenkins. We have some extremely tragic news for you tonight. The only Hooters in my town has shut down. I drove my moped to the promised land on my lunch break today, and I was shocked to discover that the happiest place on earth has become nothing but a memory. A culinary institution that was once the heartbeat of Tickletoe County locked its doors for the last time this week as it filed for bankruptcy. As the earth shifted beneath my Crocs in that empty parking lot, it began to rain. As if even the sky knew what had been lost to the cruel, twisted hand of fate. I began to wonder where Kelly could be. Is she thinking about me? Wondering where I am? My soul is now bankrupt of boobies. But do I get to file these feelings? No, I must carry on. I must become the man that my dad wanted me to be. The man that was born when Kelly hugged me that one time and absolutely smothered my face with those squeezers. Because if I can't become that man, well, I don't deserve Kelly and her massive upper deckers, do I? So that's what I must do. I won't just survive this tragedy, I'll become stronger from it. Stronger than I've ever been. I know more jiggly honkers are out there, and I'll find them.
This just in. The United States has officially deployed its most reckless and unpredictable unit to the Middle East, the Ultima Team.
Girl, I'm lost. Keisha, guess where I am? Girl, they sent me to Iran. Who's gonna fill in? Girl, that. They got some good ass food here though. Did you not see me? Dead ass. Move. I don't even care for real. Bitch.
Thanks, Chris. Known for their unmatched ability to cause complete havoc in school zones, Walmart parking lots, and Taco Bell drive-thrus.
Y'all lucky I ain't bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected based on three things: unpaid registration, loud exhaust, and vibes. God help us all. Welcome to the Black News Network. I'm your host, Papa Cap and Yo Ass Jones. Tonight's story, BNN weather reporter and local hoe Keisha McRib thinks she too good for me. The part-time weather reporter and full-time community mattress was begging me to come through and lay this pipe last Friday, but now she want to act like she don't know me. She ain't ever had a problem asking me to pay for her food, but when it come time to show me what that mouth do, the hoe proudly lied, I ain't that kind of girl. So we just gonna act like you ain't already popping Plan Bs like they a daily vitamin. Oh, please. The dry cleaners won't even take your business anymore. They all tired of cleaning up baby batter stains off your clothes. Don't ever ask me to DoorDash you no crab legs again. You ain't never gonna feel these biggity black balls snocking all up on that tuna fish hot pocket garage door. And she wanna walk around here like we strangers now? Here's a forecast for any men thinking they're about to get some neck work from this hoe. Expect a 100% chance of STDs. Don't be texting me next week saying, I miss you, Chocolate Thunder, come and get this deep dish. I ain't no hot and ready midnight snack hoe. You just missed the free shrimp. And now here's Keisha McRib with the weather.
Producers have confirmed next season of Love Island will merge with the Hunger Games. Only one couple will survive the new format. Everyone else dies.
Senator Buck Nutley has unveiled his Big Girthy bill, a new proposal meant to rival the Big Beautiful bill. But does size really matter?
The shocking trend of Labubu violation continues as more and more people are finding their dolls' holes stretched wide open and reeking of shame.
If you thought Bigfoot was bad, wait till you meet his gooey cousin. A cum squatch was just spotted in Dongwood National Forest.
Did you know IKEA has released a home glory hole kit called the Fuke Hole? It includes pre-drilled panels, mounting brackets, and a stain-proof finish. We begin with breaking news out of Massachusetts, where residents are reeling from what scientists are calling a cum-comet impact.
Officials are asking everyone to stay indoors and to wear N95 masks in case of cum aerolization.
We have breaking news. A laser-guided ship missile has just been launched from Rectomopolis, reportedly targeting Taintsylvania.
We're live from the scene where a laser-guided ship missile launched from Rectomopolis has struck Taintsylvania. This just in, a pubnadal blankets Taint Louis in a thick bush this evening.
Downtown is completely covered in pubic hair, causing highways to close out of caution.
It's coming right for us. We need to get out of here now. Oh my God, it's taking the houses.
A massive gizzard has buried Kamlambus in 2 feet of dong load. Locals blame the lack of preparation on Mayor Linda P. Slurp.
The city of Columbus is reeling today after an unprecedented event. What officials are calling a gizzard has left downtown streets. Customs officials at Orbital Port 69 have seized over 420 stolen jork blades, many still warm and dripping. A magnitude 6.9 queefquake rattled Clamlip Valley this morning, releasing a torrent of pussy farts. The children's reading session of This Little Piggy Got Pegged has been cancelled, with parents saying the book is too anatomically detailed for kids.
Lawmakers remain deadlocked on the big beautiful bill, with some saying $10 billion more is needed for fleshlights and robo-cooters for dudes on dry spells.
I can't go slow, bitch. My AC don't work.
Damn, Monique. Not my whip.
I dare a hoe to tell me the ice cream machine broke. Damn, this shit good. This what Quandale said to cool it off with. Oh yeah, she good now. Oh hell no.
Gotcha, bitch.
You better drop my car, dead ass. I will cut you. I'm about to do something.
A massive gizzard has buried Kamlambus in 2 feet of dong load. Locals blame the lack of preparation on...
Breaking news. Red Lobster has announced that they no longer will be accepting EBT. Our team is on the ground now, breaking this live.
Y'all, this is some bullshit. They bring back the cheddar biscuits and do some shit like this? Be fucking for real. Oh my God.
Are you fucking serious? How the fuck is we supposed to pay then?
Well, I don't think they should have been taking it in the first place, if you ask me. I feel safer here now.
Breaking news. Red Lobster.
Bring Keisha.
The Pentagon has confirmed these drivers were selected.
Yo. All right, bet. What's up? All right, guys. MTV News Desk. It is July 5th, 2025, man. Let's do the news. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick. I see a couple of y'all got up in here. Yeah, Quiet Storm. You see I got one of your drops. I threw them all on skins, man. I'm going to load up a couple more. And Slipknot said Nissans and bonnets. Yo, what up, Slipknot? Yo, what it do, Playboy? He said, kids got to eat hot dogs. Why she eat shrimp? Yeah, we got a couple more of them joints. The Red Lobster joint is funny too. Yo, Slipknot, let me know if you want to do that. Whatchamacallit? If you want to do that, Demon Time with just Mr. O. It looked like contracted and bailed out. So I shot you an email earlier. Mr. O was down to do it. I was waiting around. Contractor said he couldn't do it, but we can still do it with just you and Mr. O. And maybe get Irvin Reed up on that joint. You guys actually held down the last 3 shows. So hit me up on the email. Let me know you down with that. We could do it this Saturday. Just do a new episode. People been asking about the Demon Time show. All right, man. Let's do some news. Let me remove this. Yo, shout out to Kwame Kaiju and Storm. They was sending me a lot of news links for the show. So that's actually great. Let's start at the top with this one. It says that Donald Trump has obliterated the legacy media, which was the plan. So this one's from Sky News in Australia. It's good that we be trying to do look at some of the international news too. Because our mainstream news is primarily bought out by the Democrats. We just be watching, we just be going over some of the CNN and MSNBC joints so we can clown them.
Fascinating. Paramount Global has reached a settlement with Donald Trump over a lawsuit that alleged that CBS News Network engaged in election.
Yeah, there you go. Quiet Storm said it. There you go, Slipknot. And say, yeah, we need Demon Time back. Yeah, Slipknot got stuff to say. So yeah, we could do it with you, Mr. O, and then the Irvin Reed show up in the chat. We got the 3 of y'all. And sneakily, you and Mr. O can carry it. I'll produce the show. Y'all guys just show up on Saturday. Hit me up on the email. I emailed you earlier this week, Slipknot.
Interference by editing an interview with Kamala Harris. We talked about this at the time. There was this kind of answer, this weird kind of re-editing of Kamala Harris's answer to a question which made her look better. Donald Trump has won this lawsuit. I just want to ask you about that, but first I'll just play you the difference between what the interviewer actually got, the answer he got from Kamala Harris, and then the edited version that we then saw. So have a listen.
Yeah, this was embarrassing. Yeah, Trump won this lawsuit because they edited her answer on 60 Minutes to make her look better because she was doing so bad. They basically put their hand on the scale to try and help her win the election. And that's election interference. And Trump just won this multi-million-dollar lawsuit against CBS.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including...
Oh, let me stop you right there. Can you imagine if this dingbat had won? You see how Trump is bullying everybody with the tariffs in Canada? And you see how he just bombed Iran's nuclear facility? Yo, they'd be smacking her around the globe if she was president, bro. We'd all be doomed.
Our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop.
Yeah. So look, yeah, this is Netanyahu. They asking about Netanyahu. You see how Trump did with Netanyahu and Iran. He was like, okay, y'all do the ground war. Y'all take this out. We'll take out the nuclear facilities. And you seen with that ceasefire, Trump was like, yo, they don't know what the F they doing. Yeah, she doesn't know what because she had a script. Trump be doing all that shit off the top of his head, bro.
Pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Now, Natalie, the legacy media is one of your pet hates, and you've done a brilliant job exposing the fraudulent practices of the legacy, so-called legacy mainstream media. That is a textbook example. Kamala Harris comes across looking quite smart and with a clever answer, but it was all fake. It was all edited. What is the significance of this? Obviously, it's a big win for Donald Trump, but are the legacy media, the mainstream media, learning any lessons from them?
Yo, Yo, what's up, Kwame Kaiju in the building? Yo, D-Rock Den, ain't seen you in a minute. What up, Playboy? I can't, yeah. I know, I would know that avatar anywhere. I don't even know what that is to this day. It looked like some type of crazy mutated fish. Yo.
Well, you can see they make my job very easy if you can translate what she was saying. But I think this is such a great decision. I mean, right, first off, it has to be salt in the wound. What is it, after the, over $1 billion that they spent, I guess technically coming from the DNC to try to get her elected. Now it's another $16 million going to, of all places, the presidential library for Donald Trump. That's pretty awesome. But I think obviously Trump is great for the ratings, right, of these networks. But I think if you look at the settlement sort of through the longer frame of a trajectory of how President Trump has just totally obliterated the legitimacy, the credibility, right, of so many of these legacy media institutions. I've always sort of described it as a Thucydides trap, right? You have the sort of old guard media establishment that no one trusts. And then you have the new media like myself in and around the White House. And I think the fact that they have to compete with us now for viewership and just from the kind of access and prestige standpoint, which is something that they've always traded off of, right? Just being able to have the White House as a backdrop, the illusion of access, they no longer have the monopoly on that. So I think that sort of compounding with the idea of all of these, right? There's so many of these settlements happening with so many of these networks. It's a testament, I think, to these networks not feeling like they can get away so much with lying about President Trump anymore, because there's actually going to be ramifications. I guess maybe lawfare has met its match, and when they're going to cover what they did against President Trump for these last 4 years the way that they did, maybe they should see some of their own lawfare, because I think that's exactly what we're seeing go down. And I'm sure there'll be some more lawsuits like this in
they'll keep you busy, Natalie. They'll keep you busy, don't you worry.
Yo, she's actually spot on. The alternative media, and he said it's it's a Pokemon. Slipknot said Trump need a clone. That man working. Yeah. That's what we voted him in for. I mean, man, first president in a long time just working for the people. I mean, the boy ain't really doing nothing other than what he said he was going to do when he got in office. That's pretty much, there's nuance to everything. You may not like the way everything's executed, but you can't not say that he not doing what he said he was going to do. And that's pretty much all you can ask for from a politician. And like I said, but with this chick, what she just said is spot on. She's alternative media and blackmail media here on YouTube, citizen journalists here on YouTube. We've done a tremendous job at beating the mainstream media down, countering their narrative, and they are slowly but surely losing all of their influence, and the influence that counts. Do you know what I'm saying? We saw in this election, they couldn't sway public opinion. Public opinion was swayed by what was happening down here on YouTube and across other pieces of social media.
Sorry about that. They hadn't given up the ghost yet. But listen, I want to show you another before and after type of thing. And this was the border under Biden and the border under Trump. Trump's border crackdown has been...
All right, facts. Yo, D-Rock Den with a $2 super sticker. Yo, appreciate you, Playboy. We got the Old Town Vato drop, but since it's the news desk, we're gonna use one of Quiet Storm's news drop, AI news drops he sent me. Here's more Nissan Keisha.
I can't go slow, bitch. My AC don't work.
Damn, Monique. Not my whip.
I dare a hoe to tell me the ice cream machine broke. Damn, this shit good. This what Quandale said to cool it off with. Oh yeah, she good now. Oh hell no.
Gotcha, bitch.
You better drop my car, dead ass.
I will cut you. I'm about to do something.
You like that, D-Rock? Yeah, that's one of the joints Quiet Storm sent me. And I'm gonna make a comment on that AI drop. Quiet Storm says no world leader would take Kamala seriously. If she's struggling with 60 minutes, how can she handle exactly? How can she handle Putin, Jong-un, President Xi, Japan, Iran, and NATO, etc.? Slipknot said 2025 going to be swell. It's looking that way, Playboy. It is looking that way. We will not forget that Trump also fixed the crisis in Africa, which I always be saying with all these blackity blacks. When the last time you heard any of them say anything about Rwanda and the Congo? Biden was in power all that time. And here's the thing, Trump handled that like on his downtime. He went bombed Iran, fixed the border, ICE sent National Guard to LA, sent the Marines to LA, put tariffs on everybody, and in his downtime signed a peace agreement between Rwanda and Congo. And they've been fighting for decades, like literally ethnic cleansing over there. Universal Black in the building. Kwame Kaiju. It's the smoke detector battery that take me out. Smoke detector battery that take me out. Yeah, all facts though. Here's what I was going to say about them AI drops. So, people are using VO and like these good AI image generators to generate these videos. So these are all AI, right? So once again, shout out to Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuels was telling brothers, yo, guard your ethnic energy, your ethnic image at all costs. And we've been doing that. Brothers have been doing that since Kevin passed, right? Keisha's ethnic image, and we've been saying that, it's been going to trash all over social media. They walling out. So here's the thing. When you put the prompts in for AI to make these videos, where's AI getting that information to put these videos together? From the internet. It's its data set. So all it's doing is taking the images of Keisha that Keisha put out of herself. And now there's all this backlash being like AI's generating all these negative images of black women. But AI is just using what y'all put out there. So what I'm saying is the ethnic image of Keisha is in the trash. And now with AI generating videos, it's just going to reinforce it. So you got AI is not prejudice. So like the depiction of the black woman is based off the ethnic image that she put out there. AI generates some YN content for black men and stuff like that. But all in all, you can get AI to make, black men in suits, black men doing business. You know what I'm saying? Our image ain't trash like that on the internet, bro. That's the data set. You feel me?
In a massive success, we know. So let's have a look at the difference between the two. Natalie, it does not get any clearer than that. They were pouring over the border under Joe Biden, and you've got the big, beautiful wall there. That's it. The border is secure. This is really significant, isn't it?
Extremely. I don't think we've had crossings this low since probably before I was born. But look, it goes back to, I think, the core ideological differences, right? Joe Biden, whoever is running the country, they're globalists to their core. They don't believe in sovereignty. They don't believe in nation states. That's why they tried to outsource not just our decisions, whether it was on the pandemic front or any front, you name it, the WHO. So of course they're not going to believe in securing a border. And that's why it really was, I don't want to say easy, and undercut the accomplishments that the Trump administration has made on the border and the border security front. But it was just about enforcing the laws that were already on the books and not tying the hands of our wonderful, brave ICE and CBP officers. Now, we always call balls and strikes here. I think the deportation numbers need to be a lot higher, but overall, these just absolutely plummeting, like you said, to zero numbers in terms of border crossings. And again, it was, known terrorists, people who are coming from countries that were openly hostile to the United States. It was not just people seeking a better life, as we're told. This is a huge win, but those deportation numbers definitely only need to skyrocket to. I guess we need a.
And all that talk about terrorists crossing the border, that wasn't a hyperbole. Right after we bombed the nuclear facilities in Iran, we saw that big sweep up of Iranians here in the United States, Texas in particular, with a big sleeper cell that was supposed to do an attack on the United States soil, and they got them.
An inverse relationship between the two in terms of Trump lines, but I think the one big beautiful bill is going to help that happen.
And just very quickly before we go, another great victory for Donald Trump is Leah Thomas, the man identifying as a woman who took out a host of swimming titles at the University of Pennsylvania. He's going to be stripped of those titles after pressure from the Trump administration. What do you make of that, Natalie?
There's this one line that, MSNBC and all our
Yo, and this is crazy. This Leah Thompson, he got stripped of all of the titles. Yeah, because Trump passed the ban of trans people in women's sports. But I'm from Philly, so I lived right by Penn. I used to see this dude who's supposed to be a chick on campus. Bro, he is mad tall. He's mad. She is mad tall.
legacy media bettors love to use is that people who voted for Trump didn't know what they were voting for. They didn't know what they were signing up for. He's so radical. No, this is exactly what we voted for. And I don't think it's just women. I think I speak for everyone when we say we don't want men cosplaying and LARPing as women, taking away the hard-earned and well-deserved titles of so many young girls who have all been around the White House saying as much and thanking President Trump for defending their right to compete fairly and freely.
100%. Well, happy Independence Day. Happy.
All right, bet. And what's Slipknot had a comment. He said, "Is AI a threat to the movie production?" For actors, the Hollywood studio. You remember the strike and the walk off. The studios are laying off mad actors, and they were trying to make them sign contracts for them to basically get themselves scanned by AI and their voices cloned and everything, so that they can make movies in their likenesses. They were trying to get them to sign their likenesses over. Whatchamacallit, the Hollywood studios are all, you got to think, the AIs can write scripts. They can generate videos and everything now. So the studios are going to be able to put out movies at a fraction of the cost. I mean, Disney's a perfect example. They're putting out these movies for hundreds of millions of dollars, and since they're all woke movies, they're not doing jack shit in the box offices. So I mean, talking about movies returning $10 and $20 million, but it costs $100 million to make them. The movie industry is losing mad money. A lot of actors are going to be out of work. A lot of writers, and even some production. Kwame says, "Yep, I saw a video today. Keisha crying about how they are negatively depicted in AI." Exactly, but that goes to my point. I generate like images and stuff from AI. You got to keep adjusting the prompts to get them the way you want. And all it does is it takes the information. It's got access to the entire internet. So it just takes, you know what I'm saying? It takes the information that's out there. So when you say, make me a video of Akeisha doing this, that, and other, it returns all of this ratchet stuff. You got to actually tell it to make the woman respectable, put a nice suit on. Like, you have to instruct the AI to do that. Like, you got to start editing it up. It returns all ratchet Keishas because that's what they put on the internet. D-Rock then said, "Yeah, exactly. This is what I voted for." Yeah, because all the talking points you're seeing on social media and from the mainstream media. Oh, this is what you get. That's what you vote. Are you regretting your Trump vote? Like, nah. We happy with what's going on. You feel me? That shit is, all we need is this goofy in the Fed to drop these interest rates, man. That's all we need. My man is in trucking, man. Brothers is getting loads. They making money. He dropped these interest rates. The new construction in the building building is going to go up. So all my guys who do plumbing and contracting, is going to be a lot more work. He done made it for the trucking joints. Like, you know, you got to speak English. You got to pass a written English test and everything. You know, because they was taking all the trucking jobs and shit too, man. Them black jobs is coming back, Playboy, especially for black men. The Keishas is hurting because they was heavily hired by federal government, HR, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? None of them is in STEM. You know what I'm saying? Black men on the rise under this Trump administration, man. I don't know what y'all talking about. All right, let's do this. This was sent to me. I think it was either by Kwame or by Storm. And it's you know, I be showing a lot of black content creators that be doing political commentary and financial commentary, and I was pleasantly surprised. And like I said, these guys, I'll be like, all right, I'm in the right niche because these guys are big. This is Doc Rich. He's got 1.7 million subscribers. You feel me? So this content, but this is the winning continues as they continue to lie about everything. And I like this video because it features a lot of black everyday black men just talking about now that Trump's in power, how they liking the way things is going. Like I said, the majority of black men is happy about this, about the Trump presidency. The ones who ain't, like I said, is these old Negroes, these fried chicken Christians, these Clyburn types, and the Backdoria boys, and like the low testosterone black men in the Democratic Party. Like I said, I mean, you need to tuck your tail if you're a black Democrat male right now. That's synonymous with saying that you ain't got no nuts.
Continues. And it seems like there's no end in sight. I mean, every single day when I'm putting videos together for you guys, I'm coming across clips of everyone from every walk of life, including people that you wouldn't even have suspected would have supported Uncle Trump, but actually do support Uncle Trump and are saying how they either wish they would have voted for him, regret voting for Kamala, or fully support him and fully back him and already voted for him back in November and are just rubber stamping it now with a video online. And so that's what today's video is a little bit about. But before we get into that, happy Independence Day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Independence Day. Y'all stay safe out there, all right? I don't want to hear any horror stories, okay? I want everybody to go back home, or if you're staying at home, I want everybody to be safe. I don't want anybody missing any limbs, okay, after today, all right? Don't do anything stupid, all right? Anyway, let's hop into some of these clips. Let's dive in.
This message is for you, Donald Trump. Hey, I'm so proud of you, Unc. You going hard, man.
Yes,
Keep
sir.
going hard for the American people. We appreciate what you're doing. Everybody know they're giving you a rough time, but hey, you keep fighting for us, and we appreciate that, man. This is the first time that I ever really paid attention to what's going on in the White House, and I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I never thought that the president actually could make stuff happen. I thought it was people around him that had to make the stuff happen, but I see the president can make stuff happen, and I see why they didn't want you to be the president, because you speak for the American people, because you show leadership. You show leadership through action. You don't bow down to nobody. You let people know why America is great. And that's how it's supposed to be. They said the tariffs wasn't going to work. Guess what? It's working. You're doing everything and it's working. And they're mad about it. So keep up the great work. Hey, I love you, Unc, man. Look, I appreciate it. Just keep going hard for us. All right, Unc, have a great day. All right, Megan, stay up.
I love how more and more people are starting to call him Unc.
Yo, and that's what I was saying in a couple of the earlier MTV News Desk streams, because I'd be clip farming for the show and stuff. And I was on TikTok, primarily TikTok. I'll be seeing stuff on Twitter, but and I was just because I'm comparing it like pre-election to like post-election, and I was clipping black men leading up to the election, talking politics and like every day, but like now post-election, I'm just seeing like I said, these ain't like big content creators. They're not influencers. They're just regular dudes, making their TikToks and stuff like that. And I'd have to go way, way back to maybe even the 90s, where I remember like brothers just really talking political, like, and making sense, making good arguments, and engaged and involved. I haven't seen that in decades, bro. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Uncle Trump. That's something I've called him for quite a while now. And some of you have like caught on to it. I've seen the comments, but I love how more and more people are actually just calling him Unc. You know what I mean? It's Uncle Trump, baby. Unc. All right, let's get into some more of this, baby.
So as somebody that grew up on government assistance and food stamps, I'm not mad at Trump at all for cutting some of the government benefits that they're giving out, because y'all, let's not act as if people aren't abusing this. Let's not act as if we ain't got an epidemic of people who just don't want to go to work because they expect the government to take care of them. I saw 2 people on TikTok the other day arguing.
Yo, and this is a good segue, this joint right here, because the next joint I'm gonna play is ridiculous. Because Trump then cut the SNAP benefits and the EBT benefits, and like he's put conditions on things, bruh. The next segment I got for you is on that, and yo, I got a big back Keisha and a big back Becky, bro. They is mad that they not going to be able to, because now you can't buy snacks and shit like that. That they can't buy snacks, bro. It's mad funny.
And it was a man and a woman, and the man wanted to go to work. The woman was mad at him, yelling at him, would not let him go to work because of the fact if they found out about his income, she would lose her government-funded housing and she would lose her benefits. And she would not let the man go to work because she didn't want to lose that. And I think that's an issue in America, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that do that. Y'all, if Trump is opening up more jobs, then you should want to get up and go work and not have to depend on the government. The government assistance is a stepping stone to help you get to a point where you can get back on your feet and do for yourself and take care of yourself. That's what it's about. It's not about, oh, well, just sit back and let people who go out and work take care of me so I can live an easy life because I need to live an easy life for whatever reason, bro. All of us have to get up and work. White people, black people, Mexicans, everybody got to get up and work. Nobody is owed anything by the government. Nobody is owed anything by America. Nobody deserves no handouts, bro. I don't want no handouts. So, and Trump didn't cut the government benefits out. Like, y'all are making it seem like he just got rid of it. He just made stricter eligibility requirements. So one of them is you got to work at least 80 hours a month, not a week, a month. That is 20 hours a week, 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Bro, if you can't do that, and you expect people who go out and work 50, 60, 80 hours a week to use their tax dollars to take care of you, then you're the issue, bro. And you are the main ones that Trump is targeting to get off of this and get up off of your ass and go do something for yourself. So I'm not mad at it at all, bro. He opening up more jobs, so y'all not have no issue, and y'all can get up and go get off y'all behind and do something.
And do something. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. More and more people agreeing with Trump's agenda, right? Bringing more jobs back to America while getting some of these lazy folks off of their behinds, off of their butts. You're an able-bodied citizen. Get up and work. There's plenty of jobs coming back now. We're adding lots and lots of jobs. Job report. It came back? I want to say 150,000, nearly 150,000, which was up from the projections. The projections were a lot lower, so Trump is beating projections on the jobs coming back. But there's more.
America is becoming a third world country more and more every day. I'm starting to understand Republicans, the far right side, the red, all that. So I don't like this shit at all.
Yes, sir. Go. Come on over. Come all the way over to the Republican side, my guy. Come all the way over. It's good over here. The water's great. We are truly making America great again. See, the Democrats made America horrible, which woke people up to how nice America could actually be under Republican control. And now they're seeing it. Whoa, all the illegals are actually getting deported. The crime is going down. What? The tariffs are actually working. I thought they said the tariffs weren't going to work. I thought they said we were going to go into World War III. I thought it was going to be popping off right now. He's signing peace deal after peace deal. Like, what? Winning, baby. We winning.
Anybody out there who's an independent knows that if you were a Democrat and you told one of your Democratic friends that you disagreed with anything Joe Biden did, or you called him out on anything, they basically kicked you out of the party. That's what happened to me. I've been a Democrat my whole life, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't like, y'all are kind of ugly. I don't want to be over it. I've watched Donald Trump my whole life. I grew up in the Bronx. And I've never heard of him being racist until he ran for president. Now all of a sudden he's racist. And the reasons they come up with.
Yo, see, and that's an old ninja. You know what I'm saying? But yo, that's what we were saying on the Sunday shows. Is like he said, he's from the Bronx. He said he grew. You could tell he grew up in the 80s. That's what I was saying. Like, bruh, like all of us knew Trump from back in the day. He was always hanging with the brothers and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was called. Yo, he was in all the rap videos and all the movies. Like all of his main homies is black dudes. He was the only ones he's the only bro. If you really think about it, he the only one that didn't really turn his back on Michael Jackson. To this day, you can't get him to say that Michael Jackson was doing that shit. He paid for Tyson's fucking defense. He couldn't get him to say in public that he believed that Tyson really did that shit. He was like, yeah, Tyson caught the bid, but he don't believe that he's really guilty. He always says Tyson got railroaded. You know what I'm saying? So like he said, man, I'm from the Bronx. Like, you know, we've been watching Trump all these years. Like he suddenly became racist when he was running for president. Yeah, psyop.
It's so freaking lame. Like, I mean, when you have businesses for the last 50 years, hotels, casinos, and you're racist, there's going to be a whole lot of people that can vouch for that. Whole lot of people. And they couldn't come up with not one person that said that he said this or he said that in all of those years. All of those years. You can't come up with anybody to prove. You can't just tell me somebody's racist because you don't like them or because they said something you don't like. You got to actually show me. Okay, show me what they did to harm people because of the color of their skin. Like this person didn't have it come in and it was like, they just, nope, I ain't hiring none of those people.
Come on now. He hit the nail on the head. None of these people can actually come up with any situation or circumstance where he was truly racist. They always go with the
Oh yeah, I know you talk about Storm. You say he took care of that Keisha Singer when she lost her brother and mother. He put her in a room at the Trump Tower for 6 months. Yeah, what's her name? The one that's dating from Chicago. The one that's dating Slipknot. No, the one that's dating Common now. Not Jennifer Holiday. She was in that Sex and the City movie. I know you're talking about. She can sing her ass off. And there's the famous whatchamacallit? He funded Jesse Jackson's first presidential campaign run. He financed the whole thing for him, raised money for him. And there was a homeless black woman sneakily living in Trump's tower, and like his security found her. And then when they let Trump know, Trump was like, put her in one of the best rooms, and he let her stay there. Jennifer Hudson. There you go, outspoken introvert. Jennifer Hudson. Yeah. Whatchamacallit? And he put her in one of the best rooms and let her live there rent free. And even with the Central Park 5, all that shit, shout out to Jab. Jab did a whole expose on them joints. He went through the video and everything. That confession wasn't forced out of them. They got the video. Their parents was in the room, all that shit. And whatchamacallit? Based on how it came out in the press, Trump put that article out. But what they leave out is that the district attorney was a Democrat. So was the mayor. Everybody that prosecuted and locked them bulls up, they was all Democrats. That's what they leave out.
The what was it called? The Central Park 5, I believe, right? They always come up with the same situation, basically. But they failed to mention that everybody felt the same way Trump did. Trump was a Democrat at that time, and the people that were prosecuting him prosecuting the kids really felt like they were guilty. At the time that Trump took out the ad, they had not been found innocent at the time that the ad was taken out. So what is wrong with that? What's wrong with it? Explain it to me. Because everybody felt that way. Everybody felt that way. And if I remember correctly, like the DA and everybody else that was involved in it were all Democrats. Like, come on now, bro. It's nonsense. But Trump.
Yo, I didn't watch this clip. I didn't know he was going to say that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he said what I just said. Yeah, I didn't watch this clip all the way through. I'm reacting to it in real time. Yeah, sorry. So we on the same page with that.
Trump is racist. Okay. All right. If you say so. It's a lie, though.
That it was not for Donald Trump, we might still be living next to gang members because everything changed after he was elected. I was planning on voting for Kamala up until October, and I could not bring myself to do it. I had reached out to her campaign several times because by this point, this was a international story. Nobody got back to me, or any other Democrat for that matter. And I thought, how can I vote for people who didn't have my back?
Because they don't care about you. I mean, it's really quite simple. If someone has to tell you how much they care about you constantly, then they truly don't care about you. You don't need to tell me that you love me in order for me to know that you actually love me. Now, telling me is great. That's fine. But I should already know that. And you see that time and time again with the Democrat Party. Oh, yeah, we care about this people. We care about that people. We care about these people. We care about that people. Why are you having to tell people that you care about them? They should already know this. Why are you constantly trying to tell people that you care about them? They should already feel it. But that's the problem. They really don't. All they care about is power and control. That is it. And that's all.
Didn't care about myself or my neighbors. So I voted for Trump.
So you were a Democrat?
I was my whole life.
Really?
I first voted for Bill Clinton and voted Democrat every single year until, November.
And what do you think of Trump now? What do you think of his policies on deportation?
You know what? I can't tell you specifics about his policies, but what I will tell you is that it was not for Donald Trump, we might still be living next to gang members because everything changed after he was elected.
So you feel a lot safer now that he's in the White House again?
I do, because he's taking it seriously. The Democrats simply ignored it. They said it was lies. They won't talk to people who have been victimized by this.
Now, I want to talk to you guys about a little something before this last clip, because this last clip brings a bit of hope to this entire situation. Because I know in the past I've said that some of these folks can't be helped, but apparently they actually can. Check it out.
Liberals can recover, by the way. If you have like a family member or a child or something that's really far gone, there's still hope. Because I used to be, for lack of a better term, batshit crazy. Like everything you see them crying, screaming, whining about now, like basically saying like America's the worst country in the world and abolish ICE and all of this lunacy that you're seeing now, that was me. Anybody that I didn't agree with or that was on the right was automatically racist, homophobic, a bigot, a fascist, xenophobic, whatever, you name it. I called them the name. I cut off family members, which I have since repaired those relationships and apologized and realized and righted my wrongs. But the point is, there's always hope that one day they'll wake up. I did. And now, like, everyone right now they're toting that 4th of July is canceled. I will be on the beach for the 4th of July with my American flag tent with hot dogs blasting Toby Keith, loving America and celebrating. And I've become immune to any of the hate from the liberals because I was them at one point and I was absolutely miserable and hated every second of my life while I was in that mindset. So I don't really give it much thought or much credit because, whatever. You do you and I do me.
Good for you. Good for you. Shout out to Babbling Brook 22, man. Good for you. Welcome to the good side. Welcome to the good side. Things are much better on this side of the political aisle, right? And that is one thing that we found, and there have been studies people on the left are absolutely miserable. So it's quite interesting that she says that she was absolutely.
They're also mentally ill. I mean, the Democratic Party is becoming a party of the mentally ill. And even like this whole Republican talk, I keep reiterating it. If you really look at it, Trump's Republican Party is not really the Republican Party. It's the Democratic Party like the 1990s. It's a centrist party. It looks like they're leaning to the right because they're moving more back towards the center. Like Trump's been we did a 1999 interview with Meet the Press yesterday with Trump, and he was joining the Reform Party, leaving the Republican Party because he was like, yo, they're going too far fucking right. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, most black men, we're now really starting to identify as independent. So we're like swing voters now. Whoever's got the best policy, that's who we roll with.
Miserable while being a raving lunatic liberal. She was miserable, but now everything's peachy. There have been studies on that, and it is so true. Liberals are miserable. And I just don't understand. But according to her, there's still hope. So let's not give up just yet on some of these liberals. I know it can be super annoying. It can be super frustrating. But apparently there is still hope that we can get these people onto our side and they can have a complete turnaround, because that's a beautiful thing to see. That's something that I love to see on a daily basis, is people waking up from the smoke fog of the left. Because I used to be on the left my darn self. Now, I wasn't one of these raving liberals. I didn't care about politics or anything like that. I wasn't out marching in the streets and protesting and doing stuff like that. But I was definitely a Democrat. I was definitely on the left. But so when I see people like this, it's wonderful to see. I love it. I absolutely love it. Especially when they were, super liberal and doing the whole nine that she described there, and they've woken up out of it, because for a long time I didn't think it was possible, and I've said that in videos, but according to her it is. So let's not give up on them. Let's keep trying to get more people onto our side of the political.
Yeah, I hear what he's saying, but I believe in collateral damage. Y'all know my there. I've been talking this from the beginning. Pareto distribution, 80-20. And we got our 20% according to the exit polls this last election. And I think the numbers is higher than that. So I'm just primarily concerned about black men. Man, if we get 35% of black men walk off the Democratic plantation, man, it'll change everything. And some quiches will come along too. Quiet Storm said, we are policy based and numb to the emotional politics and scare tactics. We want to know what's in yo, there you go, baby. What's in it for me in 2025? And that's our mantra here. That's how these politicians talk. That's how you evaluate policy. It's the cheat code. That's the equivalent to Kevin's sign language. You know what I'm saying? They talking. Do you hear anything in it for you? Then that means there ain't nothing in it for you. Next. Quiet Storm said, we are more independent with conservatives' beliefs and views. Spot on. All right. Actually, I want to load up a couple more of these AI Keisha drops. Quiet Storm sent me, and I'm gonna load up this next segment. Because Kennedy is in charge of health and whatnot now, so that was one of the recommendations with the EBT and the SNAP cuts, that you can't buy all this junk food and shit now, which is great. Hold on, where we at? Yeah, you can't buy all this junk food and shit now. So these quiches are flipping out. So let me pull this one. Trump EBT snack ban. Yeah, they're flipping out. So bang, here we go. High calorie woman. All right, so let me load this one up. And then I'm gonna load up another one of these AI drops that Quiet Storm sent me, because these joints are hilarious. It's just, let me see. I'll load this one up. Yo, and this is all, bro, the Keisha's ethnic image is trash, yo, because these is all generated off of AI. Like, I'm sure somebody put a prompt in, like, you know, make me a Keisha video with a this or with a that. But it's crazy how accurate the AI gets these joints with the mannerisms, the voice, the language, and everything. And you know, all it's doing is like going to TikTok and shit and like just cloning voices and shit and behavior. So at this rate, Keisha's ethnic image ain't going nowhere because AI is going to reinforce it. So Slipknot said, black women abuse the system and their men. Hell yeah. Oh, Pookie and Ray Ray show. What up, Playboy? He said, we've got over 60 years of Democratic lies and our community, have been devastated by the Democratic policies. Shit. I mean, look anywhere that there's a Democratic mayor. Look at the city. And it's twice as bad if it's a Democratic Keisha mayor. Yeah, okay, best. Yeah, send me some more. Hold on. So did this joint load up? All right, bet. Here go one. This one's only 8 seconds.
Oh, hell no! I thought this was a shortcut!
I dropped this one again.
I can't go slow, bitch. My AC don't work.
Damn, Monique. Not my whip.
I dare a hoe to tell me the ice cream machine broke. Damn, this shit good. This what Quandale said to cool it off with. Oh yeah, she good now. Oh hell no.
Gotcha, bitch.
You better drop my car, dead ass. I will cut you. I'm about to do something.
That shit hilarious, bro. Yo. And chicks is really salty because they got chicks on the AI generating videos with chicks eating big buckets of chicken and shit. Yo, it's crazy. And now they starting to call AI racist. I've been seeing all this content on it. Yo, but it's a big back Becky and a big back Keisha. This is their reaction to Trump cutting the SNAP and EBT benefits and forcing you to buy vegetables and healthy food and shit. You can't buy snacks.
Access to food? Do you not want them to have? You know what they're going to do? They're going to end up stealing. And there's going to be more prisoners. Oh, that's so smart. That's so smart. Yeah, you're stunting American growth. You're stunting American growth, and my generation's getting fucked because of you. And I'm sick and tired of it. People have like this, but you know, there's so many people who, you know, they for their SNAP benefits, they use it, but they don't actually need it. And this, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care if a few of them use the system. Everyone's going to use the system. Guess what? Trump is using the system so that his fellow rich people can have tax cuts. So why can't people have food? Why is it, please, someone explain to me, that why is it us and Israel, out of the UN, are the only two countries that believe that food is not a given right? Why? Tell me. I don't understand.
Yo, did she just say, She can't believe that they think food is not a given right. Does she look like she's at a food deficit? Does she look like she's hurting for food? Yo, the level of self-awareness is crazy. Costco says lose some weight, white back. Slipknot right. He said make a 5-pound bag of sugar, $170. Yo, this is real, bro. This isn't fake. They flipping out over these SNAP and EBT benefits and not being able to buy junk food. Yo, wait till you see the big back Keisha. It's crazy because her joint is she gets like $2,000 in like SNAP benefits. So she's hoarding. She's at Sam's Club hoarding snacks before they change the policy and she can't get snacks. Slipknot said hashtag food rights. Yo, this shit gets crazy. Oh, look at this. Quiet Store with the follow out of Super Chat. He said one time for Vato. F all you hoes.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Man, fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Man, fuck all you hoes.
Yo, hold on. Let me let some more of this play.
And I don't understand you Trumpies. I don't understand you people. Okay? How can you not care about other people? Do something about it. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready. Like, if I need to, I'll defend what I believe is morally right.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to follow up on our coverage of the trend involving high-calorie women who are living on welfare, lashing out at President Trump because of the changes that he's making to some of the welfare programs that they depend on, like Medicaid and SNAP. Okay. As you guys saw at the beginning of this video, you had a woman who was very upset, okay, with the fact that there are going to be SNAP cuts, right? Basically, they're saying, look, we're going to have work requirements, okay? You're going to have to be required to work in order to receive SNAP benefits, okay? And a lot of people don't like that because they don't.
Yo, look at the caption she put on this joint. When Trump say no more snacks on EBT, so you go spend a 1K at Sam's part 1. So she's got multiple parts of this video of her spending all her money on snacks, $1,000+ on snacks before the policies changed. This is look, this is mental illness, bro.
Feel like they should have to work in order to receive government handouts. They really believe that they should just be able to live off the government and to make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision that cost taxpayers money. And you're a bad person if you say, nah, I don't want to support that, right? So yeah, we got to talk about this video that I want to react to, a video that quite honestly has left me speechless, right? For the last few hours, I've been thinking very hard about this video, and it bothers me, right? I am legitimately triggered by what we're about to witness here, guys, because it involves a woman who apparently has 9 kids, and she has over $2,000 worth of food stamps, right? So she's receiving a lot of government benefits. And as far as I know, I don't think she has a job. But honestly, I mean, even if she does have a job, she's still getting a lot of food stamps per month. So clearly the job is not enough to pay the bills, okay, and to stay off of the government.
She's got 9 kids.
She has at the very least 1, okay, multiple baby daddies, likely, okay. I'm talking about multiple, very likely. Yeah.
Hey y'all. Okay, so let's do a story time about with my first pregnancy, how I hid it from my parents. Okay, so boom, let me tell y'all how it happened. So I was talking to the boy I met on Facebook. Mind y'all, I'm 15 at the time. So I was talking to the boy that I met on Facebook, and boom, bam. So calling ourselves in a little relationship or whatever. So at the time, I was 15. I was finna be 16. And I told him I was 15, finna be 16. So I was like, how old are you? So he was like, he was 18. Why did I have as many kids as I had? Because I wanted to start my own family. And I wanted a big family. No, I did not plan my kids. I did not plan none of my kids. It just happened. I planned one of my kids, and that was 80. Anybody else was not playing. It just happened. Honestly, I like to okay? We being realistic here. I like to and it just happened. I didn't go up the road. I didn't.
Yo, this the Keisha Rat community. Shout out to AC on steroids, bro.
Unalive them, then get an abortion. I didn't do that. I chose to keep them. I believe in lay down to make them, lay down and take care. Stand up and take care. Be a woman and take care of your kids.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Again, I'm speechless, right? I am speechless at what is happening in this country right now. It makes me really, really, really mad, right? To be honest with you, okay? I'm very, very, very upset because what you have here is a young woman who, at points in time, she's been homeless, okay? So she's living in poverty, but yet she is continuing to lay up and to have children, okay? Have children. Now, again, I don't know who is getting this woman pregnant, right? I think at this point, she may be doing hit and runs, right? She might be getting dudes drunk and then hitting and running, right? I think that's the only possible explanation that I can come to at this point. But she's claiming that you have them, you got to take care of them. The only problem is that she's not really taking care of them because she is not providing for them. The government is providing.
Yeah, we be having this conversation here. This is a breeder, bro. A breeder. The boy's going to end up in a prison industrial complex, and the Keisha's going to be out here ratchet. Yo, it's a breeder for the system.
Providing for them. Taxpayers are providing for them. Okay? Taxpayers are providing for these kids. Okay? Evidence by the fact that she is going to go on this EBT grocery haul where she's going to spend $1,000 on snacks because of President Trump's push to have people eat healthier, right? Particularly people who are on SNAP benefits. They got to have to eat healthier, okay? And that's going to be started in 2026. Some states are going to be allowed to prohibit candy, soda, energy drinks, and other ultra-processed foods. And again, they're pushing states to do this. So I guess in preparation for that, she is going to the store and buying a bunch of snacks with food stamps. So again, let's go ahead and get into this.
So YouTube, this your girl Quay, and yes, we at Sam's doing the shopping haul. So y'all come along with us and let's get some stuff out of Sam's. I'm really just gonna be a very short video, just a little tic-tac, boom, bam, you feel me? But yeah, y'all, let's get into it. They got some animal crackers for $8.98, so we just gonna grab one of these. So yeah, my kids like Nutrigrain bars, so they for a box of 30 seeds for $9.98. So we're gonna grab that. We're gonna put it on. So yeah, we already started shopping. So we got some chips, some blow out for the kids, some little bites, some hot chips, some fruit snacks, some gushers, some powdered donuts, oatmeal pies, some honey buns, and yeah. So let's get into the frontier. A box of 2 bags for 49 ounces for $7.98. So we're gonna grab one of those, and they got frosted flakes for $7.88, and we're gonna grab one of those.
Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. When I was back in the States, I'd be in the supermarket, get my couple little things. Yo, and then you be seeing the Keishas come up with 2 shopper carts stacked at the top with all types of food and shit in line and shit, and they pull out the EBT card, and you be, yo, and you get your couple little things, and that shit come to $50, $60. Yo, you be pissed as shit, bro.
So So at Sam's, I come here and I get the big old seasoning salt. So I'm gonna grab one of those, and it is for $6.68, which is a good price. And yeah, let's see what else we need. So yeah, that's what we're gonna grab here from the season out. That's the only thing I'm gonna get out of here.
Storm said, "If I see a fat ass driving a Nissan Altima, I'm logging off." Outspoken introvert said, "This is why I don't go shopping on the first." Yo, facts. Pookie Ray Ray sure said she's still a child in the mind, and all these zooms and wham she want. Yeah, D said, "Don't forget the." Storm said, "Don't forget them stracks." Yeah, they be couponing and getting all they food for like $9, bro. It'd be crazy. Yeah, but yo, I remember used to be in there, the shop right and shit like that. Yo, they be having 2 carts and it should be stacked to the top with everything, and you'd be like, "You gotta be kidding me, bro." And that was during the Biden joint when like everything was super expensive, and you would go to the fucking supermarket and get like, I don't know, like 8 things, like some like the basics. So your shit be almost $100, and then you see somebody come with a cart packed to the top, and it was the Keishas and the migrants, like, you know what I'm saying, like a Latino or somebody or something. Yo, you'd be like, "Yo, you got to be kidding me! All this goddamn food, yo." That's when we would sit doing showing them receipts with the motherfuckers with $3,000 in SNAP benefits and shit for the illegals and shit, bro. They was going to town in these supermarkets, bro, under the Biden administration.
Yeah, they got some olive oil for $11.48, so we're gonna grab one of these. Yeah, yellow rice. And they got it for $5.78, so we're gonna grab one of those. Like I said, y'all, the video is not gonna be long. It's gonna be a short video. So we're gonna grab this pack right here for $7.98. It's actually on sale. It's just saving $1. So we're gonna grab one of these with 2 ketchup, mustard, and sweet relish. Get some of this ranch right here for $12.48, and that's the Healing Valley for $12.48, 2 packs. Yeah. So they got the Velveeta macaroni cheese, shell macaroni cheese for $14.98. I usually don't buy these, but I ran out of macaroni cheese and I went to my sister's house and got this. And she had it. And it tastes pretty good. So I'm gonna grab a case of those. The twins like the ravioli, so we're gonna grab 2 cases of those for the twins. So they got spaghetti noodles, $5.48 for 6 packs of spaghetti noodles. So we're gonna go with those. Get some of this regular.
Yo, this shit tax money hard at work, y'all. Shit tax money hard at work, brothers.
Spaghetti sauce, we're gonna grab one of these. It's a 3-pack for $8.98. So yeah, that's a steal. People grab one of these mashed potatoes. I don't know how much it is quite yet. I'm gonna grab 2 boxes of these because we go through mashed potato like it ain't nothing. And we're gonna get 2 cases of these. I don't know how much it is, but we're gonna get 2. We're gonna get a case of these green beans. We're gonna be 8 cans in the pack. So we're gonna get 2 of these. I'm gonna grab one to serve, and the serve running for $6.78. So we're gonna get one of those. $6.78. We're gonna get one of these. On just the marshmallow, y'all, for $7.98. So yes, I'm gonna get a box of those. So we're gonna grab a box of Frito Pepper for $6.48. And a box of Fritos, $8.58. Captain Crunch Berry.
Yeah. So you get
Yo, the best thing about social media is a gift and a curse, but these Keishas that really put themselves out for the world, like, cause you know what I'm saying? They on Front Street with this shit. Yeah, I know people in the chat discussed it, like, you gotta be kidding me, bruh. Yeah, we got what we voted for with this Trump thing. Like, yeah, we've been talking about it down here in this space. Like, yo, get Keisha off these subsidies and all this. This is why they strong, independent women, because they ain't spending their own money. They living off, bro. Even if you're not a stepdaddy, even if you ain't married, your tax dollars is supporting these Keishas so they could talk trash to you. You know what I'm saying? Dry that money up, man.
the gist of what's going on here. It's infuriating. It really is. $1,000 worth of junk. The only vegetable that this woman bought was in a can. No raw meat. No actual fresh fruits and no veggies in sight. Just a bunch of sugary junk. And then, again, people wonder, why is it that we have an obesity crisis in this country? Why is it that the people who are on SNAP, who are on EBT, who are on food stamps, why is it that they're overweight? It's because they're allowed to go to the store and buy junk. And some people say, well, she's buying the food for her kids. She got to feed her kids. Yeah, but why is it that the father is not being forced to feed these kids? I think the father or fathers, right, that allow this, right, that allow this, they should be prosecuted. I'm so serious. If you're not taking care of, if your kids are living off EBT food stamps, you go get one of these pregnant, and you're not taking care of it, I think that you should be prosecuted. Because this is a drag on society. So I just want you guys to understand how much, I guarantee you, there's no doubt in my mind, this woman and her family probably cost taxpayers at least $50,000 to $100,000 a year. There's no doubt in my mind. Why do I say that? Because again, getting over $2,000 worth of food stamps a month, that's $24K a year right there. Probably getting housing assistance, Section 8, more money. Also on top of that, probably on Medicaid. So being on Medicaid plus also being a person of high calorie probably means that they're going to the doctor a lot, right? Especially considering the fact that they don't eat healthy, okay? Not a vegetable in sight, not a fruit in sight, okay? So that means that they're probably seeing the doctor a lot, which is also something we got to pay for. When you got private insurance, when you're financially responsible, well, what happens? Well, we got to pay more, not just in the fact that we got to pay for insurance, right? And these people don't, okay? Which we are subsidizing that with our taxpayer dollars, but also on top of that, because of the fact that Medicaid pays these hospitals, these doctors' offices less, okay? We have to pay more when we go, aka they price gouge people with private insurance.
Oh, Storm, you never seen him? I watch him all the time. This is a Black conservative perspective. His channel's huge. He's almost got 1 million subscribers too. I think he's at 975,000. Yeah, I mean, that's why I've been doing this. I've been playing like a lot of Black content creators that make, and like I said, and their channels are huge. That's why I said, I mean, at least with this news that shit out, we in the right niche. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is Black conservative perspective. I got like I do with all of these MTV news desks. All the source videos are in the description box with the links to the videos I reviewed. But yeah, I played this one because it's in light of the big beautiful bill being passed, and what's included in that bill are these changes to Medicaid. And then when they're talking about, you know, millions of thousands of people are going to die because he's making changes to Medicaid. He's making changes to Medicaid for shit like this. And like I said, and this chick got the audacity to go on social media and post this shit. Like they're making a case for it. And as far as structural changes, like I said, we need this shit to I myself have personally noticed that quiches have been far less haughty since Trump has been in power, especially after that recent jobs report when it showed all them quiches lost their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to tamp down on a lot of that. We're the most educated, we make the most money, and see a lot of that 50-50 conversation and disappeared too. You know what I'm saying? Quantus Storm said, this is why I can't wait to see how these tax cuts hit next year. If it's anything close to what I was seeing in 2018 and 2019, we good. Hell yeah.
In order to make up for what they don't get from the Medicaid patients. That's how it works. That's how it works. So again, when you talk about total taxpayer benefits going to this woman, she's probably getting $50,000 to $100,000 a year, mainly because of the choices that she made. When you talk about, again, being a person of high calorie status, having 9 kids, not a baby daddy in sight. Clearly, they're not being taken care of. But we got to foot the bill for this. Right? We got to pay for it. And again, you're a bad person if you say, nah, we should have to pay for this. Why should we pay for this as a society? It should be the father's responsibility to feed these kids. Why are they not on the hook? Why is it that it is okay for these people to continue to lay up and to have children and they can't take care of them, can't feed them? I'm just, again, I'm speechless. Like this frustrates me so much. Especially consider how Democrats, again, who do they appeal to? They appeal to these type of people. Instead of being honest, instead of having honest conversations saying that, no, stop. We cannot as a society condone this. This is not something that should be okay in America. This woman is technically in poverty, but yet, look, clearly she's not going hungry, right? That she has an excess of calories for her and her kids, right? I'm at a point, well, I think for SNAP, but in order to qualify for SNAP, there has to be a weight limit, right? Look, at some point, people got to say, listen, you got to starve a little bit, right? You got to starve a little bit before you can get on SNAP. Because you got an excess of calories. You need to lose a few pounds first, okay? Before you get on SNAP. Because clearly, calorie intake is not a problem, right? It's not an issue. But again, I just want people to understand, when Democrats are boohoo whining and crying about, the cuts to welfare, this is what they're crying over. This is what they're crying over. Again, if Trump says, hey, we cut your food stamps off, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to shed one tear. Not for an individual like this. And people say, well, how the kids gonna eat? Well, that's the father's problem. Oh, well, you're a mean person. No, I'm not. You have to, like, are we gonna continue to incentivize this type of behavior? Or as a society, we're gonna say, nah, we can't continue to subsidize this, right? Because again, if it wasn't subsidized, it wouldn't happen. The only reason she was comfortable enough to sit up and have 9 kids, right, is because she knew that the government would take care of her. She knew it. She knew that, well, if I had 9 kids, I ain't gonna have to work. I'm gonna get food stamps. I'm gonna get rental assistance. That's the only way.
Yeah, we know by distribution of population, there are more white people on welfare. There are actually more poor white people. We know that. But this is a communità conversation. And this is these entitlements and everything is why the communità is so out of control. And we with that. Cut all that shit back. Cut all that shit back. And these Keishas stop talking crazy like they talking crazy. Majority of brothers ain't trying to get with them. The statistics already show it. Over 50% of black men single and without children. So it's already starting. But that's the only way to roll this Keisha shit back with policy. D-Rock then says the 50-50 combo then turned into ninjas need to get with them. Exactly. It's the reach back. Shout out to AC. All right, guys. We have the 1 hour, 24-minute mark. We're going to do a quick by the numbers segment. We're going to look at some numbers. We're going to look at some charts, call it a night. Rasmussen got a new data set. And this one is Trump just passed his big, beautiful bill. And this is some polling info on the bill. So let's see what we got here. Let's load this one up. And we're going to call it a wrap after this. Let me, here we go. Turn up the volume. I had this one queued up. All right, our guy Mark Mitchell, head pollster at Rasmussen, going through some of these polling numbers with regard to the big, beautiful bill. So let's see what they say is behind the numbers.
That's because it's permanent. It has a lot of other things in Trump's agenda that get codified into law as a part of it. But the issue is spending, and people are worried about spending. But will it affect Trump's numbers because of this poll? We're going to look at that because of this bill. We're going to look at that. I don't think so, though, because here's why. And this is the context everybody needs to understand. This is the last nearly 20 years of right direction polling, 19 years specifically. And you can see that little orange circle here. Something crazy is happening now. You can finally see it on the chart. This is a 20-year chart. This is unprecedented territory. Unprecedented territory. The country is headed in the right direction more now than ever in the last 20 years, according to voters. That is because Donald Trump and his promises and people trust Trump. And so this is the problem, is that they don't, the one big beautiful bill was never branded well. I think that's why you need very specific and targeted bills. Hey, we're going to do this bill. We're going to deport millions of illegal aliens bill. Put all your border stuff into it. Then people will know, okay, cool, they passed something that's going to deport millions of illegal aliens. This thing's about taxes. It's about agenda items. It's about spending. It's about all kinds of stuff. And so I think what's going to happen is that people are going to be baffled with BS, and it's going to have no impact whatsoever. Again, though, people think the country's headed in the right direction. How could that be when they're concerned about spending, like we're going to look at? Well, it's because they are kind of used to Congress just spending. Even under Trump, Congress spent a hell of a lot under Trump. Deficit went up. And so I don't know, maybe it's resignation to the fact that these problems won't get fixed. Maybe it's the fact that people have been promising economic implosion for decades now. If spending has not reined in and it hasn't happened yet, I think that's part of it. But bill is not a winner. Now, we haven't specifically gone and asked a yay-nay polling question on the bill. We're actually in the field with that now. Do you approve or disapprove of the fact that the bill is being signed into law? But according to these scummy pollsters, people oppose the bill. Now, I don't think these numbers would be too off. Like, I don't think that I'm going to see some massive majority supporting this bill, because already even Republicans are split on whether this will increase or decrease the deficit. Quinnipiac, 55% opposed. Fox, 59% opposed. Washington Post Ipsos, interesting, only 42% opposed. KFF, no idea who the hell they are. 64% opposed. Wow. Pew, 49%.
My baby shitting on everybody's polls, but it's crazy that Washington Post actually had the better numbers for the bill. And that preamble he was doing is him saying, because the bill was packaged everything in, Trump had to get this bill passed. One, so he could lock in the 2017 tax cuts for the middle class and get his campaign promises for the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Trump's trying to get all of this shit done before the midterms, because he knows he's really only got 2 years. He's been here before. He knows how this goes. And he's trying to get all this done while he's got a majority in the Congress and in the Senate. And mind you, it's a very narrow majority. So I understand why he pushed the bill through this way. And then they're going to come back around and address the deficit. But he was giving you a context as to why the polling numbers look the way that they do with regard to some of the negative sentiment on the bill. And it's like Quiet Storm said, we'll see how these tax cuts go into effect next tax season, and if everybody's return and the amount of deductions and stuff that they'll be able to put on their tax returns, people turn around and be very happy with it.
9% opposed. I don't want to predict what I think we're going to see. I think we're probably going to see a 45-45 with a significant number of not sures. That's my guess. Washington Post, though, I really wonder why they're the lowest. Regardless of the source here, this thing is not wildly popular. This is not a 60, 70, 80% bill. And people should want this, if not just to keep their taxes from being increased, to be honest with you. And so if it was like, hey, this is the avoid massive tax hike bill, maybe we would see better numbers, but it's not. That's not what they made it about. They made it about one big, beautiful bill. It's kind of like Biden's Build Back Better, which was complete flash in the pan. But let's talk about the polling. Let's talk about the context and the spending, because is this going to be a problem? Is Elon Musk going to launch a third party? Is the Republican Party going to tear itself apart because of the fiscal budget hawks? And I know Trump's plan is to grow us out of this. That might be possible. I question if it's possible if we're going to be deporting between 5 and 10 million Americans. Awful hard to grow the economy when you're getting rid of a significant portion, like 1/3 of 1% just gone. That'll be a hit to your GDP for sure. So I don't know. And also, we have the issue with the pent-up housing crash, and will that cause knock-on consumer implosion? But I guess the numbers are good. We saw a good jobs report this morning. But let's go back a little bit and talk about spending, because Trump was elected because of in my opinion, the prices and the border. And so I think inflation is going to be stabilized. I think the border invasion is going to be fixed, reversed, completely done away with. 170 billion, including almost 50 billion for a wall. That's like 100 billion plus for just random other stuff. What? I might go join ICE, seriously. That's a massive amount of funding. And we've talked about this. There's more efficient ways that they can do this. They can, like Trump said, tax remittances. That would be a really great start. Mandate E-Verify. Let's get it through Congress. That would also do. This could be a completely new America. What does that look like? I don't know how many millions of people they're going to get rid of. Then they're going to actually look at Trump floated, going back and looking at the 2020 census. And we've talked about Seth Keshel and his great work on Substack. He thinks as many as 16 Republican seats were stolen because of the 2020 census. Probably something that you would want to fix. But this is from 2014, and this is just to give you an idea. A very basic question about spending. In reacting to the nation's economic problems, which worries you more? The government will do too much, 39%. The government will do not enough, 50%. So this is kind of a big government, little government question here. People expect the government to take positive action to fix the nation's economic problems. This is just 6 years post-financial crisis. In reacting to the nation's economic problems, should the government increase spending or decrease spending? Interesting. This whole idea of big spending liberals, that's not what kind of America we have here. Only 26% say increase spending, 60% say cut. 60% say cut. We are more than a 2-to-1 cut spending country. So right off the bat, what have you heard about? Oh, people aren't going to want their Social Security. People aren't going to want their Medicare cut. Yeah, if you talk about those individual line items, but if you have a massive bill and it's like, yeah, this is fiscal responsibility. We need to do this. Stuff's going to get cut. People want it cut. They say we're spending too much on foreign aid. They say we're spending too much on waste, fraud, and abuse. Remember, 70% think our government is basically, they're angry at the level of waste, fraud, and abuse. A 60% cut spending country, including 59% of 18 to 39-year-olds. Well, there's one demographic group that wants to increase spending. Black voters. 47% of black voters want to increase spending to only 27% who want to.
Bro, and I guarantee you those black voters are Keisha's. They would increase spending for all them entitlement programs and them DEI programs. I guarantee you that's Keisha's, bro.
Cut spending. That's an uncomfortable signal. Wow. Eesh. Okay. Well, anyways, 83% of Republicans want to cut spending. 47% of Democrats want to increase spending. 35% cut. So not even half of Democrats want to increase spending. But what happens when a Democrat gets into office? Big spending bill, Green New Deal, infrastructure, jobs, crisis recovery. That's what the Democrats do. And the Republicans obviously help them. And liberals, 47%. Again, not even a majority. When 35% of Democrats say we have to cut spending, it's like, it's probably time, guys. And again, this is just from 2014. Look at this. Incomes over 200K want to increase spending the most. That's funny. Wham, we had some good crosstabs back then. Were you part of the Tea Party movement? Political class index? What was this from? This is cool. Some random overnight poll we did. Wow, with some awesome crosstabs. All right, so moving forward to more recent eras, 2023, which is more to blame for the size of the federal budget deficit? And remember, what we're trying to dispel here is the fact that petulant, greedy voters are the reason that our debt continues to skyrocket. And according to U.S. likely voters, the reason we have a massive deficit is because politicians are unwilling to reduce government spending. 66%. Only 21% say, no, it's taxpayers. No, it's the gimme dats. That's stunning. Completely defies all, I guess you would say, I think that's what people think. Like, this is literally, I think, a ubiquitous opinion in the media that voters do not want this stuff cut and will draw a line and hold anybody politically accountable who touches their Social Security or whatever their thing is. Whatever their thing is. 28% of Democrats say that it's taxpayers' unwillingness. 52% blame politicians. 77% of Republicans, 71% of independents. So a majority of everybody, politically, 18 to 39-year-olds are less likely to say that it's politicians' unwillingness to reduce government spending, probably the naivete at work. And black voters are with white voters on that one. Which would you prefer? So now this question came right around the time of a debt ceiling negotiation. And this is my favorite question, one of my favorite questions. I use this all the time. In the media, a government shutdown is talked about like political Armageddon. They say it's the worst thing that could possibly happen. The optics are terrible, and they always blame Republicans. Always. And even Chuck Schumer this time around used it as a hammer to try and get stuff out of the Republican Congress. And they called his bluff, I guess. I don't know why he folded, but voters want the government shut down. They think that that is totally a reasonable ask in order to get spending reductions. Which would you prefer? A partial government shutdown until Democrats and Republicans can agree to either cut spending or keep it at its current level, i.e. not kicking the can, 56%. Or should Congress spend more to avoid a partial government shutdown, 34%. So barely 1 in 3 voters say, no, spend more. We can't shut the government down. And it's half of Democrats. But 41% of Democrats are like, yes, shut it down. 73% of Republicans, 56% of independents, 56% to 30 say shut it down. We've had enough. It's too big. Kill it. Rip it apart. Now, liberals want more spending. It's funny how different liberals are on this question from Democrats than on prior questions. 2/3 of liberals say, no, keep spending. And what's weird too is the complete reversal from black voters wanting more spending, but also agreeing that we should shut it down, as opposed to kicking the debt ceiling can. Now, since 2014, I think there's probably been a lot of political changes in the black electorate. I think that's part of what we're seeing, but there might be something specific about that question as well. And lower income voters are more likely to say, shut it down. Middle class, really, 64%, 56%, incomes 30 to 100K. And is there an education signal? Yeah, there is an education signal. Pretty much a majority of everybody except grad school degrees say shut the government down. So it's people with graduate degrees. So again, here's this idea, this Curtis Yarvin Cathedral, this idea of the highly credentialed class that loves the government and has super many college degrees and high incomes. And they worship the government. Look at Biden's strong approvers. Spend more. Do not shut the government down. Biden was in office, so maybe Biden's strong approvers think it would be a political hit for him. I don't know. But more numbers from 2023. Wow. 2 years ago, and it was only 31 trillion. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how trillions fly? At the time, 76% of voters were at least somewhat concerned, 53% very concerned about the size of the national debt, including majorities of every demographic. But only 38% of Democrats were very concerned, 69% of Republicans, and 53% of independents. Only 22% of liberals very concerned. And I bet you Joe Biden's strong approvers are not concerned at all. Strong approvers only interesting. So the somewhat approves, politically disconnected, 24% very concerned. Strong approvers, 32% very concerned. And a majority still, 59% of Biden's strong approvers still concerned about the size of the national debt. Interesting. Congress recently passed a new $1.7 trillion spending bill. Do you approve or disapprove of this new spending bill? And this is one of the major takeaways today, folks. 45% at least somewhat approved, 50% disapproved, only 37% strongly disapproved, only 58% of Republicans strongly disapproved, 73% of Democrats at least somewhat approved, but Democrats didn't really strongly approve. These numbers are tepid. And I can tell you, I don't think it hit his approval numbers at all. So again, Congress rammed through this massive spending bill. And this is like people did not like Joe Biden. Now his numbers recovered a little bit after the 2022 election, but he was still underwater probably about 15 points when this poll was taken. And it didn't move a damn thing. And it didn't change his political potential for winning or losing in the upcoming election. It didn't really matter at all. What happened is probably Congress took a hit. We weren't measuring it at the time. Probably Congress took a hit. But the thing about Congress is it's one institution that is not on the ballot. Individual congressmen and women are, sure. And I guess you could say in an ad, oh, this person voted for the one big beautiful bill. By the time 2026 rolls around, people are going to forget what's in it. I already forgot what's in this $1.7 trillion spending bill. But at the time, do you agree or disagree with this statement? The $1.7 trillion spending bill is a monstrosity and disaster for the country. And people are like, oh, it is? Okay, sure, I agree with that. 61% to only 32% who disagree. 45% strongly disagree. But again, his approval numbers didn't move. So I think it's like when you have a border invasion and when you have Trump come and fix it, people assume they're going to get garbage stuff out of Congress and they want it to change. They voted it for it to change. They say overwhelmingly that they want massive change in Washington, D.C. and not business as usual, but they have no recourse. They have absolutely no recourse. All right, so here's some prior polling about the big, beautiful bill. Again, we're in the field now with new questions. But now...
All right, but that's a good point he made. So, you see, the mainstream media, you were hearing all that, people are opposed to the big, beautiful bill, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But he's explaining that it's the framing of the questions for the polling. And he was saying in general, yeah, people are opposed to big government spending, et cetera, et cetera. But them being opposed to the bill, that's primarily a Congress issue. And it's not really, it hasn't affected Trump's overall polling numbers in terms of approval of his performance and everything. It's more so a general consensus with the public being that they don't like big government spending. And Trump including all those additional middle class and working class cuts into the bill, it's the general public being like, yeah, we don't want this big deficit, et cetera, et cetera. But they're looking at that more as a fault of Congress, because they also know that Congress is tacking on all this extra pork onto the bill to force Trump's hand and to stall the bill. And Trump's just like, all right, well, it is what it is. Let's just get it done. Let's get these tax breaks locked in, and then we'll go back and we'll cut on the back end. So that's him. That's why we do a by the numbers thing. So when the press is always like, oh, this poll just says this and this poll says this, they're spinning the narrative. I think Mark does a real good job of getting us behind the numbers to really understand why the polls say what they say, and irregardless of something that says that it's negative, how do those things actually affect Trump's overall approval ratings?
Even larger number are concerned about the national debt. So as it gets bigger, the number of people concerned goes up. Now we're up from, was it like 76% to now 84%, 53% very concerned. That's high. Republicans overwhelmingly concerned, which is interesting because Democrats weren't that concerned under Biden, but now the Democrats are super concerned. Isn't that weird? Republicans are equally concerned, even more so concerned under Trump, but Democrats were not concerned at all under Biden, not nearly as much. There was a majority, but I think it was in the 30s. Now it's in the 40s of very concerned, 46%, with a 83% total at least somewhat concerned, which is almost as much as the 85% of Republicans. Interesting. So Democrats only care about spending under Trump. And look at how concerned liberals are now all of a sudden. It was up from 22 to 52% very concerned about the size of the federal deficit. I'm going to tweet that. That's ridiculous. That is the mental double standard at work. It's rare that we can catch it so explicitly, so beautifully and explicitly. People think the one big beautiful bill is going to increase debt, not reduce the national debt. And again, Trump wasn't elected to reduce spending. He was elected to fix our economy. But whether people want to call this a spending reduction bill or not, it will not be effective, because 46% say that this thing will increase the national debt, 23% say reduce, and Republicans are split on this, 30% increase to 34% reduce. And people don't approve of the way that Congress sets federal spending levels. That's like obvious. So maybe that's not interesting. Only 12% strongly approve, but 43% at least somewhat approve, probably driven by Republicans. More so than Democrats, yeah. The Democrats aren't too far off. So it's going to get through. It's not going to cut spending meaningfully. We're going to have probably $20 trillion more debt 10 years out than we were going to otherwise have had if a different spending cut bill had been pushed through. And I think they could have done it. We're married to this reconciliation process. We're married to these stupid parliamentarian rules. We're married to all this stuff. Republicans fail time and time again to do the things that voters really want by political realities. And voters want political unrealities. Voters want you to break a few rules. Voters want you to tell the parliamentarian to pound sand. You see, they wanted the government shut down. And the
That part. He's spot on. And that's it in a nutshell. The political realities of actually being in politics and trying to get things done with a adversarial Senate and Congress. And like I said, we've got a very narrow margin. That's why the midterms are so important.
The government won't do it. That's the thing. It's like we see this performative BS. Nobody thinks you're doing a good job. Whatever. They'll get the bill through. Trump might get a little bit of a pickup. Here's today's numbers, down to net +1. And people are like, well, why is Trump approval falling? And I think it's reverting to the mean, and it tends to cycle back and forth. I don't know why. I don't know why this random walk tends to swing back and forth. But presumably he was as high as Trump +8 back with the LA riots. And that could have been driven by how bad the Democrats were being at the time, or it could have just been driven by a random walk. I don't think that it's going to hang around here. I think it's probably going to go back up. We got July 4th. We got this bill coming back. We're probably going to see an upswing, but maybe not. I don't know. We had one bad overnight that was like a 46 that drove this down while another high one fell off. But 49% approved to 48% disapproved. That's not too dissimilar from what he did in November. So essentially what we're saying here is he's lost zero support. And Republican total approval is still pretty high, 83%. Democrats kind of lower, 24%. He's underwater 10 points with independents. Independents poll fiscally like Republicans in my polling. And so I think that that's probably a spending signal, and as well as a Middle East signal. Probably some holdover for that. I would expect to see independent approval for Trump rebound a little bit, driving these numbers back up to probably the +3, +4 range. That's what that's my call. Probably what's going to happen. And this, unfortunately, for people who are watching, it does not look like Trump's second term is going to cross Obama's first term net approval rating by July 4th. It's just not going to happen. It could have happened. It's still, if we have a really strong night of polling tonight for Donald Trump and he gets like a 55 or something, we might wind up with a net +3. It might put us right there, but I don't think we're going to report. Do we report approval tomorrow? I don't know. I should probably know that. I don't even know if we're polling tonight. Well, I think it will cross with the very next print. So, in spirit, Trump approval bested Obama approval. And this is great because this was literally like the day yesterday when we found out that Obama like literally colluded with Clapper and Brennan and Comey. That's a wild thing. I have that article up. We'll take a look at this. But yeah, so big, beautiful bill. I think it's just going to be something that comes and goes, and people will say, oh, look back at Trump's term, and there was all this spending. And maybe the growth will get us out of it or not. But I don't think it's going to be the end of him politically. I don't think any failure is individually going to be tied to any representative unless they betray Trump and he hasn't primaried or pulls an endorsement or whatever.
Spot on. I agree with that assessment with the numbers as well. We got the 1 hour 54 minute mark, gentlemen. That is the show for the night. That's my time. And that set of polling numbers was the day before 4th of July. The bill had passed the very next day. And those were the numbers were. So we'll check back in when he gets a new set of polling numbers. apparently Obama had the highest net approval ratings of like pretty much any president. So that end part, what he was saying is, we're trying to see if Trump can beat basically Obama's net approval ratings this term. All right, guys, man, that was a good show. Thank everybody for stopping by and supporting the stream. Thank you to Quiet Storm, Kwame Kaiju, No News Podcast, who are always sending me segments to cover on the show. Greatly appreciate it. We're right under the 2-hour mark. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Sunday panel. Slipknot, if you're still in the chat and listening, shoot me an email so maybe I can get Demon Time with you, Mr. O and Irvin Reed, and we revive that show. That being said, man, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night and good luck.
I can't go slow, bitch. My AC don't work.
Damn, Monique. Not my whip.
I dare a hoe to tell me the ice cream machine broke. Damn, this shit good. This what Quandale said to cool it off with. Oh yeah, she good now. Oh hell no.
Gotcha, bitch.
You better drop my car, dead ass. I will cut you. I'm about to do something. I can't go slow, bitch. My AC don't work.
Sorry.
Hey, where's Stewie? That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.